So what I'm going to be talking about today is the Dualshock 4 controller, which is typically and basically designed to be worked with the PlayStation 4 console, but it also works with the PlayStation TV and also with PC. So I'm going to be showing a couple different things about this today. Basically the layout, sort of how it functions in conjunction with the PlayStation 4 system, and a couple other things that I've sort of discovered about it through a heuristic evaluation and cognitive walkthrough. So, as we can see here, on the front we have these two analog sticks. There's one on the left, one on the right. In between them there's a button that looks like the PlayStation symbol. It's kind of hard to see, so I'll bring that in close there. In the center here, there is this sort of, looks like a really big button, and it actually does press like a button, but this is actually a touchpad as well. Over here we have some directional buttons. This is a standard sort of D-pad, which means they sort of are attached by an axis. So once you press up or press down on one side, the other side pops up. You can't press both left and right or up and down at the same time. On the right side, we have these four buttons here. There's a lot of people call it X, but it's actually called cross to sort of fit with the other shapes here. So we have cross, we have circle, we have square, and we have triangle. There's also a button here that says share, which is used for taking screenshots or short video clips of gameplay. And over here we have an options button that usually opens like a sort of menu screen. And on the back we have these buttons here. These two over here are labeled L1 and L2, and these buttons over here are labeled R1 and R2. So the L is standing for left, and R is for right, obviously. And then if we look here, there's a sort of almost a rounded off triangle shape there. That actually lights up once the controller is turned on. And there's an extension cord here for charging this since it's wireless. The first thing that I wanted to do was to turn on the console using just the controller itself, so not actually going over to the console. So as you saw, as I sort of went through this, I sort of pressed all the buttons. I could press any of these and nothing's really happening. But if I press the button that looks like the PlayStation symbol, maybe you heard that beep in the background. That is my PlayStation 4 being turned on. Here's what it looks like when we first turn on the PlayStation 4. So here's the title screen. So the second thing that I wanted to do was to send a message to a friend and sort of show how the controller is used to send a message. So there's sort of a list of activities that I can do here, and if I press up, there's different things that I can reach. So I got friends, messages, party, profile, trophies, settings, and to turn off the power. So I'm going to go to messages. I'm going to create a new message, and I'm going to send it to my brother actually. And from here, this little sort of text box appears, and I'm just going to be moving like left, right, up, and down with the controller so I can type this in. And I'm going to say, congratulations, So I would just press R2, done, and then it's sort of highlighting where it says send there, and I would just press X to enter. Or if I didn't want to send it, I would say circle for back. The next thing that I wanted to do was change the time for controllers to shut off. So that sounds like something that you'd find in the settings. So let's go into the settings. Looking for something here for controllers. So I'm just navigating using the arrows. I could also use the left stick to move things around. The right stick doesn't seem to do that. So maybe devices, because it looks like there's a controller there. Oh, controllers. And it's not in there. But there is a thing here to change the brightness of the light bar. Enable vibration. Change the volume of the speaker. So let's see what else is in here. Turn off device. No, don't want to do that. Well, changing the amount of time before it shuts itself off, that seems like a power save setting, so we'll try that out. So set time until PlayStation 4 turns off, rest mode, time until controllers turn off. So let's just change that to 30 minutes, I guess. So step 4, swap the button mapping of L1 and L2. This is something I haven't done before myself, so that also seems like something you'd find in the settings. Let's see if we can find it. Well, we looked in devices, under controllers, and I didn't see it in there before. Okay, so it took me a bit longer than I expected it to. It wasn't exactly in the first place or even the second or third place that I looked, but in order to change the button mapping for the PlayStation 4 Dualshock 4 controller, if you go under accessibility in the settings, and then go down here to button assignments, and you'd have to check this box that says enable custom button assignments, and then you can go into here, you press X on customize button assignments, and you can change things however you like them. So this one here, I'm going to choose to swap my L1 and my L2, and that automatically swaps the other one for me. So now whenever I want to press something that's saying to press L1, I'm going to have to press L2 instead, or vice versa. I just wanted to make a couple recommendations for how this product could be improved, possibly in future iterations. The first thing, probably my biggest complaint about this, honestly, is the battery life. So the DualShock 4 controller lasts about 5 to 7 hours worth of gameplay. It isn't really a whole lot of time. So I'm switching back and forth between one controller and the next. On days off, possibly once or twice in a day, to be honest. Another thing is these two analog sticks here. I forgot to mention it earlier, but they also double as buttons. You can probably hear that click. So this here is the L3 button, and this one is the R3 button. There's no label on that. I think it could benefit, at least for beginning users, to have something sort of saying that on the controller itself. And sort of the last thing was, I'd shown how to go about doing the remapping of buttons, so you could make your L1 and L2 swapped with one another. However, I've noticed that once you get into one of the applications, whether it's Netflix or one of the games, the symbols that they use to say press X to jump, for example, doesn't change when you've changed your X to, say, your triangle. It doesn't say press triangle to jump. It's not sort of aware of those changes that you've made. So it sort of forces you to recall what you've changed those particular buttons to.